Hello, one and all, respected minds, friends. Back to Lily of the Valley coaching. We're going to talk about the whole Nicki Minaj versus Cardi B melodrama that has been ensuing for the past, I'd say, 8 years. Has it been 6 or 8 years? And we've seen it from its inception. Now, we know how the media likes to play women against each other, but at the same time, when you take that out of the equation and you start dragging children into it, that's when this takes on a whole new era of its own. So let's dissect this one of the ways that I know how, and that is, if you know anything about my work, it's astrological. Let's talk about this in terms of metaphors. If you look at Nicki Minaj, she's fire, right? She is a Sagittarius. So we're going to start with the sun signs first, okay? And then we'll move on to their other placements. Nicki Minaj is a Sagittarius, which is fire energy. Cardi B is a Libra, which is cardinal energy. Diplomats, okay? Pretty much they are amiable and they pretty much get along with everybody because they really don't like confrontation, okay? Provided they don't have certain other elements to their chart. So that's what we're going to get into today and how it plays into what we have seen online and why Nicki never stood a chance in this verbal altercation. Okay? So let me pull up my notes. Alrighty. So as we dissect this cultural clash that everyone thinks they understand on the surface, let's take this deeper. Now, Nicki Minaj versus Cardi B. These are two women, two different legacies, two very different astrological blueprints. Nicki Minaj has built her career on bravado, dominance, and optics, while Cardi B has built hers on rawness, quick wit, and authenticity, which everybody seems to appreciate. People can tell the difference between real and fake. Listen, some of the things Cardi says might be a little crass and vulgar, but she came into the game knowing who she was, and she kind of made you fall in love with her, even though she can be crass and vulgar at times. She never pretended to be anybody else. Genuineness and authenticity is the name of the game if you want to be accepted and embraced for who you are. Nicki never ever gave off authenticity vibes. Now, their feud has been framed as ego versus ego, but if you strip it down, it's really fire versus air. And if you've ever blown out a birthday candle, you already know how this story ends. Here's the astrological breakdown. Nicki is a Sagittarius sun with a Mercury also in a Sagittarius. So that's how she's going to communicate. What does that mean? It means her communication style is bold, blunt, and dramatic. Sagittarius Mercury shoots arrows, big statements, big exaggerations, big energy. But here's the weakness, it's not always precise. This is why it's not landing. It's fire that burns bright, but it can scatter. See, Nicki is focused on the bigness of the statements as opposed to the genuineness and the authenticity. Basically, she talks to talk. She talks for shock value instead of getting truths across. Everything is meant to drop your jaw instead of delivering truthful hits. Now, on the flip side, let's look at Cardi B. She's a Libra Sun, Libra Mercury, Aries Rising, Aries Moon. So her delivery style is going to be very, even though she can be very vulgar and very crass, it's also going to be very balanced. She doesn't respond until she has weighed how it's going to land. Okay? While Nicki is just shooting shots, ba, 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 Cardi is a little more surgical and precise with it. Okay? She's going to cut you with her words. All right? Since this is a verbal altercation, you have to be very, very, and this is something that we can really study in debate class, in many other forums, because it's really giving us a bird's eye view on how to get your point across. For the dramatics, yes, it's entertaining for the dramatics, and also you learn a few things on how to argue your points yourself with this as well. So there is an added benefit to watching this other than seeing the drama unfold. Now, it's unfortunate that kids had to be dragged into this, and this is what makes it, excuse my vulgarity myself, fucked up. Okay. Now, again, looking at Cardi B, do you hear that? I don't know if you heard it, because when I refined this before I posted it might cut it down a lot, but there were sirens in the background. Okay. Now I do live in New York, and you hear that all the time. It's you're For a person like me, I'm from New York, you can't really sleep without noise. You need some kind of noise. You can't be in complete dead silence. It's very unsettling. We need some kind of, for us, that's the sign of life outside. Okay. It's a New York thing. You wouldn't understand. Okay. Anyway, again, looking at Cardi B, she's a Libra Sun, Libra Mercury, Aries Rising, Aries Moon. That's air and fire working together. Libra Mercury makes her quick witted, strategic, and balanced in how she delivers her words. Aries Rising and Aries Moon give her speed, aggression, and firepower. So she's not just witty, she's fast, sharp, and fearless. And remember, she's a rapper. Words are her weapon of choice. Now, both ladies are rappers, but I feel like Cardi B is the quintessential female rapper poet hybrid, because not only in the studio does she land, okay, but also out of the studio, because we're seeing this in real time, just how good she is with words, not just in the studio, but in real life as well. Okay. So this is a very fascinating case study. So, how do these two ladies clash? What happens when Sagittarius fire meets Libra air? Air extinguishes fire. Cardi's Libra Mercury means she knows how to weigh her words before she speaks, but her Aries placements mean she delivers them with heat. That's why she comes across as quick, cutting, impossible to outtalk. Nicki, with her Sag Mercury, can throw flames, but Cardi's wind blows them out before they spread. This is actually a fascinating case study, to look at these two women, and look at it through a debating, online sparring case study. So those of you that are in college, and a lot of my collective is in college, we're the studious type. If you're in debating, you can use this as a case study. So if you're doing your final thesis in debating, you can definitely use the Nicki versus Cardi drama that's going on as a case study, as kind of a fallback to study just really how this goes down in the online sphere and how public perceptions and projections are a part of this, okay? So, from a forensic angle, and you know me, I'm a forensic strategist. I'm all about the forensics of things. I look deeper than a lot of people will look. This is not just celebrity drama. This is a case study in communication styles. Nicki represents optics, loud, dramatic, but fragile when pressed. Cardi, on the other hand, represents resonance, witty, authentic, and backed by astrological placements that make her a natural verbal warrior. And that's why Nicki's fire couldn't survive Cardi's wind. So, in closing, ladies and gentlemen, the next time you see a feud play out in public, don't just look at the headlines, look at the elements. Look at the Mercury placements, because sometimes the outcome isn't about who shouts the loudest, it's about who's built to win the argument. And in this case, the stars already told us wind blows out fire. Cardi B was always going to win this one. Thanks for listening. If you want more dissections where culture meets psychology, astrology, and legacy, stay tuned. This is, whew, gosh, that. This one was fun. This one was fun, guys. And think about it also, your homework is today. Think about what your own placements are and who would you probably, most of us want to be Cardi B as far as an argument is concerned, but this is also gets you to refine how you do your online arguments. See where you fit. Are you the Nicki or are you the Cardi B? I know personally I'm the Cardi B. Okay, because I have Libra placements, okay, and we're in Libra season. So if this was me against another individual, I will probably be the Cardi B. And I like her anyway, so it's like, I vibe with her. I resonate with her because of that particular style, that element to her. I don't agree with everything that she does, but it's like, as far as this is concerned, verbal altercations, I will probably be a Cardi B. Okay. So this has been Lily of the Valley Coaching with your host and researcher, Bernadette. I will see you guys in the next one. If you like this type of content, give me a follow. Um, I'm also on X, so catch me there. I will give you the information once I finish publishing this episode. So, yeah, this one was one for the books, guys. So, if you want to see more content like this, or I should say, hear more content like this, give me a follow. See you in the next episode.